This is Don, the author of EDHREC, and I wanted to do an experiment and try videotaping me answering a question that I got online about my data. Kind of see if you guys think it's interesting or not, or worth my time or not. I don't know. Let's see how it goes. So the question I got was, what are the most commonly played cards across all decks, regardless of color, at each mana cost? So for each converted mana cost 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up to, let's do 20. I'm going to count the most commonly played cards in each of those converted mana costs. So in order to do this, I'm going to crack into the EDHREC server, and I'm going to work there, and I'm going to write some Python code. So most of EDHREC is implemented in Python, and I'm going to try to explain some of this code so that you can get a general idea of what's going on, but I just wanted to show you guys how some of this works behind the scenes. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do this import core. Actually, let me run this thing real quick because it takes a while. So I'm going to run the script that I have here, and the first thing it's going to do is it's going to import core, and I get these error messages up here that I've been getting for a long time. It's easily fixed, but I kind of miss it. I think I'll miss it if they were gone, so I'm just going to leave them. And then the next thing I do is I'm going to get all the decks in my database, which is about 33,000 decks. And that's done with this core.getAllDecks. Core is this library that I lump up all the kind of important functions into. And it gets each deck one by one, or each color identity by deck, each one by one. And then right now what it's doing is it's executing this code right here, which is for each deck, so for every single deck, for every single card in that deck, I'm going to do a core.lookupCard. So I'm going to show you guys what lookupCard does. It's one of my more useful functions. So core lookupCard. Let's do a counterspell. As you can see, I get this this nice object here that tells me like the converted mana cost, the colors, the name. I also inject the price, the current price, where it's been printed, the text on the card, if it's an instant, things like that. So very useful thing. So I'm looking that up, and then I'm checking to see if it has a converted mana cost. Lands, for example, do not have converted mana cost in my data, which is really annoying. So maybe I shouldn't have picked that one. So you can see there's no converted mana cost here. So I have to check that it sees it, and then I'm also going to check the converted mana cost is less than 20. So the reason why I have to check to see if it's less than 20 is this guy, Gleemax, which is a bane of my existence. So this thing has a converted mana cost of 1,000,000, and if I'm not careful, it'll throw off my averages and things like that. I could filter it out, I guess, but I'd like to keep the special cases to a minimum. It looks like it's done here, but let me finish this. And then finally, I count, so that I'm using this counter object up here. I'm just going to count the cards. So effectively what this is doing is, for every card in every single deck, I'm going to add a count, and I'm going to index it by its converted mana cost. So I have like 20 counters, and each counter is going to get incremented for that card every time I see that card in a deck. And then what I end up with is a list of 20 counters. That's what I started up here. I got 20 counters, and each one has cards from that converted mana cost in it. And then I print it out with this code. So this is just printing it out, and let's see what it came up with. So, all right. So converted mana cost 0. We've got Everflowing Chalice, Pact of Negation, Mana Crypt, Torrent's Crypt. Not too many surprises here. I guess Spellbook is kind of surprising, I guess. I definitely play Mox Opal more than Spellbook myself. We've got Sol Ring, which is the most popular card in all of my data. It's seen 23,000 times, which is about in 2/3 of all decks, which is actually kind of low in my opinion. We've got Swords and Skullclamp and Path to Exile. I've played all of these cards. Converted mana cost 2. Let's see. Oh, there's the first Signet. It's interesting that Dimir Signet's the first one. Not really surprised by Lightning Greaves and Swiftfoot Boots and Cyclonic Rift. Demonic Tutor. Yeah, not really surprised by any of these guys. Mana cost 3. A lot of ramp in mana cost 3, which is kind of interesting. Dark Seal Ingot, Chromatic Lantern, Cultivate, Kodama's Reach. Burnished Heart. Let's see, mana cost 4. Nothing really that interesting. Prophet Crucifix. I guess Gilded Lotus still much more popular than Prophet Crucifix. I guess it's because the Gilded Lotus can be in more decks. Mana cost 6. I like cards in mana cost 6 for some reason. Played Standard for a while when the Titans were around, so I think I had fun with mana cost 6. Let's see, 7. Yada yada yada. 10. Alright, so now we're getting kind of crazy. Got like Polar Kraken making the top 10 with 14 counts. Mana cost 12. I guess there's only 4 cards. We've got Blink Moth Infusion, Emrakul. So Emrakul's here. Like I said earlier, I don't remove cards that are on the ban list because the ban list can change. So he's there. Mox Lotus. So as you can see with Gleemax being in there, I don't do anything. That's going to be in there, and there's nothing else in here. So yeah. So that was pretty quick. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you think.